It's Wednesday, January 24th. Welcome to the AI Factor. I'm Noah Wave, your guide on this exciting journey through today's news. In today's news roundup, we delve into significant developments impacting various realms. The New Hampshire primary unfolds, with former President Donald Trump securing a victory in the Republican race, while President Joe Biden triumphs in the Democratic primary through write-in ballots. The symbolic win for Biden underscores the state's importance, but attention now shifts to South Carolina, where Nikki Haley faces challenges against Trump's lead. Allegations of an improper relationship between Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade raise concerns about the integrity of the case against Trump, with potential implications from meetings with the Biden White House. The Israeli-Hamas conflict escalates, prompting protests, calls for a ceasefire, and a communications blackout in Gaza. In-N-Out Burger's closure in Oakland due to crime sparks discussions on business safety, while Macy's rejection of a $5.8 billion buyout bid highlights ongoing challenges in the retail industry. Ready for a deep dive into the AI factor? The New Hampshire primary election is the first primary election in the United States presidential election cycle. It is considered an important event in the election process, as it can help establish momentum for candidates and potentially lead to a surge in fundraising and media attention. The Republican and Democratic parties held their respective primaries. The Republican primary saw former President Donald Trump emerge as the winner, while President Joe Biden won the Democratic primary through write-in ballots. It's worth noting that the New Hampshire primary election is not the only factor in determining a candidate's success in the presidential race. However, it does provide valuable insight into the preferences of New Hampshire voters and can serve as an early indicator of a candidate's potential to gain traction in the election. Nikki Haley made a strong push to win the New Hampshire primary in 2024, as she aimed to challenge Donald Trump's dominance in the Republican presidential race. Despite being a former South Carolina governor and UN ambassador, Haley faced an uphill battle against the former president. In the weeks leading up to the primary, Haley campaigned heavily across the state, hoping to sway independent voters and gain ground in the polls. She focused on her experience in foreign policy and her record as governor, emphasizing her ability to bring a fresh perspective to the Republican Party. However, Trump's strong support in the state, coupled with his endorsements from key South Carolina elected officials, made it difficult for Haley to gain traction. Trump emerged victorious with a significant margin of victory. Despite the loss, Haley vowed to continue her campaign and fight on in the race for the Republican nomination. Her efforts in New Hampshire showcased her determination and resilience, but ultimately, she was unable to overcome the political landscape and Trump's strong support among the Republican base. As the race moves on to South Carolina, Haley's home state, the polls continue to show a significant lead for Trump. This presents a major challenge for Haley, as she must find a way to close the gap and gain ground in the polls if she hopes to remain competitive in the race. However, it's important to note that the primary race is still in its early stages, and there is plenty of time for the dynamics of the race to change. Haley has shown resilience and determination in her campaign so far, and she may yet find a way to turn the tide in her favor. The numbers in the polls are not in Nikki's favor, as she faces an uphill battle against former President Donald Trump in the Republican primary race. Despite her strong push to win the New Hampshire primary, she was ultimately unable to overcome Trump's lead in the state. Recent polls show that Trump holds a significant lead over Haley in South Carolina, her home state. A poll conducted by a pro-Trump PAC found Trump with a 39-point lead over Haley, with Trump at 64% and Haley at 25%. In a head-to-head matchup, Trump leads Haley by a 40-point margin, 68% to 28%. These results suggest that Trump enjoys strong support in South Carolina, a key early primary state, while Haley faces an uphill battle to gain ground against the former president. President Joe Biden won the Democratic primary with a write-in campaign, despite his name not being on the ballot. This was a symbolic victory for Biden, as the state broke party rules to keep its primary first in the Democratic calendar. No delegates were awarded as a result of this primary. Biden's win was a show of unity among Democrats, with supporters rallying behind the incumbent president. In a recent development, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has been accused of having an improper relationship with a special prosecutor she hired to work on the high-profile case against former President Donald Trump. Allegations claim that the two were romantically involved and that the prosecutor, Nathan Wade, received over $650,000 for his work on the case. Credit card records show that Wade paid for trips to Miami and San Francisco, where Willis allegedly accompanied him. These allegations have raised questions about the integrity of the case against Trump and could potentially impact its outcome. While it is important to note that these allegations do not directly affect the evidence against Trump, they may lead to calls for Willis to step down from the case. It was revealed that Wade had 2 meetings with the Biden White House during his investigation. These meetings took place on May 23 and November 18, 2022, before the indictment of Trump. The explosive filing raises questions about whether the White House coordinated prosecuting President Biden's 2024 political opponent. The allegations of a romantic relationship between Willis and Wade have led to concerns about the impartiality of the case against Trump. The controversy has sparked debates about the integrity of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office and the handling of the high-profile case. Fani Willis is currently under investigation for possible misuse of taxpayer funds and an alleged romantic relationship with a special prosecutor, Nathan Wade. In Israel, there is a growing concern about the ongoing conflict with Hamas and the potential for further escalation. Recent reports suggest that Israel has suffered significant casualties in the past 24 hours, with 21 soldiers killed in one incident alone. This is the highest number of casualties in a single day since October 7th. The conflict has also led to a near-total communications blackout in Gaza, which has been ongoing for a week. This has severely impacted the ability of humanitarian organizations to provide aid and has led to calls for a ceasefire. In response to the conflict, there have been several protests in Israel, with some calling for the overthrow of the Netanyahu government and the holding of new elections. There have also been reports of Israeli forces severely damaging a Gaza cemetery and exhuming and removing bodies as part of a search for the remains of Israeli soldiers. The situation in Israel is tense and complex, with many different factors at play. The conflict with Hamas, the potential for further escalation, and the impact of the communications blackout in Gaza are all major concerns. In-N-Out Burger, a popular fast food chain known for its burgers and fries, has recently announced the closure of its only location in Oakland, California. The company cited ongoing issues with crime as the primary reason for the closure. The location, which has been open for 18 years, will officially shut its doors on March 24th. In-N-Out Burger's chief operating officer Denny Warnick said in a statement that despite taking repeated steps to create safer conditions, customers and associates are regularly victimized by car break-ins, property damage, theft, and armed robberies. This is the first time in the company's 75-year history that it has closed a location. The decision to close the Oakland location has sparked discussions about the impact of crime on businesses and the need for improved safety measures in the area. While the closure of this In-N-Out location is a loss for the community, the company is offering its employees the opportunity to transfer to other locations or receive a severance package. In-N-Out Burger remains committed to providing quality food and service to its customers, and the company hopes to find a safer location in the future. Macy's recently rejected a $5.8 billion buyout bid from investment firms Arkhouse Management and Brigade Capital Management. The department store chain cited concerns over the financing of the deal and the lack of compelling value in the non-binding proposal. The offer, which came in at $21 per Macy's share, was deemed insufficient by the retailer's board, who found that the firms failed to address their concerns over their ability to finance the deal. Arkhouse has since said that it would be willing to increase its offer if Macy's would provide more financial information. Macy's has been facing challenges in recent years as it struggles to compete with online competitors and adapt to changing consumer habits. The company has announced plans to close some stores and lay off employees as part of its cost-cutting measures. The rejection of the buyout bid highlights the ongoing challenges facing the retail industry and the need for companies to adapt to changing market conditions. Macy's stock has been performing well in recent years, with a steady increase in value. The company's focus on its e-commerce platform and the expansion of its off-price segment Backstage have contributed to its success. However, Macy's faces challenges from the ongoing shift to online shopping and increased competition from online retailers. In response, the company has been investing in its digital capabilities and closing underperforming stores. As we wrap up this episode of The AI Factor, we invite you to join us again for another captivating journey of the news. If you enjoyed today's exploration, don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe to stay updated on future episodes. If you have thoughts, questions, or intriguing stories you'd like us to explore, feel free to reach out to us at podcast@aifactor.news. Remember, we're committed to providing unbiased perspectives. We will never pull you left or right. Our mission is to take you straight to the facts. Stay curious, stay informed, and always keep an eye on the ever-changing landscape of the news. Until next time, this is Noah Wave, signing off.